When I was incarcerated in Glynn County for over 2 weeks, effective July 8th, 2010 through July 22nd, 2010, I noticed that the majority of the women in the Glynn County Detention Center, they all had medical issues to do with the medical card. They pretty much had issues dealing with mental illness, post-traumatic stress disorder, all kinds of things. Most of the women were charged with prostitution, drugs arrest, or something like that.
And you tried to help some of the women.
Absolutely.
Let me ask you something. How is it that you recognized or you feel confident about diagnosing what you saw as far as the women in the jail? What makes you feel competent to say what was, seemed to be their issues?
Well, I'm trained as a therapist in psychology. I hold 4 degrees. And in my condition in Glynn County, I was able to ascertain the problems because women were coming to me, saying to me that I looked like I did not belong there because I looked like a businesswoman and I looked as if I was a sophisticated woman and educated. And those women recognized that I was not there. As a matter of fact, most of the women were drug users and abusers, and they knew my husband.
They knew your husband?
Yes.
Because he has problems like that?
Absolutely.
And you didn't know that when you married him, did you?
Absolutely not.
So you knew that he had post-traumatic stress disorder, but you didn't know the depths of his problem, did you?
Absolutely. I found that my husband disappeared. He said he was going to the doctors on October the 1st, 2009. And he went away to see his psychiatrist at the VA hospital in Augusta, Georgia. My husband was gone over 2 weeks. During his missing period, I got 2 telephone calls, and there's a police report was generated based upon that. During those 2 telephone calls, I had enough information to recognize that my husband had serious issues. While he was away, I managed to go into his files to find out more about him because I was not aware of the things that I was hearing about him on the telephone. So I learned that, number one, that he was incompetent. I learned that he had been incompetent since 1999. I also learned that he had spent years at the VA hospital in the mental health ward. So and being has a history of mental illness, and that I did not know. So I found out also that my husband had a money problem with the VA, that he had been cut off from his checks on December the 1st, 2009, which generated the anxiety in him, which made him call the 911, which generated a police report that he eventually continued to send to my insurance companies, and he was trying to scum money from Geico and Progressive because he needed the money because of his reasons, but he didn't want me to know about it.
So in other words, he initially lied and said that you had run over him because he wanted some money from the insurance company.
Yes.
And so he made up the lie about you ran over him, not just because he was hallucinating, but because he wanted money. Yes. And of course, in his incompetence, he thought that he would just say, you ran over him with a car, and then the insurance company would pay him.
Absolutely.
Now, did the insurance company find any damage on your car to substantiate that you had done any running over anyone?
No.
So, did the police find any evidence that there had ever been any accident?
There was no investigation by the Glynn County Police Department.
So they just took this mentally ill man's word that you had run over him and put you in jail.
Yes, ma'am.
And put you under supervision of Sentinel, but they will not give you a day in court.
No.
They will not give you an opportunity to clear your name.
No, they will not.
So you took it a little higher, didn't you?
Absolutely. On November 10th, 2011, I investigated Hank Johnson. Hank Johnson is the chairman of the Subcommittee on Human Rights, Civil Rights, and Constitutional Law on Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C. I visited his office, and he referred me to Jack Kingston's office, who is a congressman for the Glynn County area. Congressman Kingston has referred my case to the United States Department of Justice, and their phone number is 202-353-1555. And And so because he referred it to the U.S. Department of Justice, I received a letter on December the 5th, 2011, naming the FBI as the entity that would be investigating this issue.
And so you feel that what's happened to you, as far as being banned from your home, banned from your husband. Now, as a result of you not being home, okay, your husband is incompetent. So as a result of you not being home with him, what is he doing now? Who's taking care of him? Who's paying your house note and the bills that you used to see to?
No one. As a matter of fact, my husband went into foreclosure with Bank of America on December 1st, 2009.
So as a result of Glynn County banning you from your disabled husband, banning you from your home, banning you on the word of a mentally ill man who, without a scratch on him, said that you ran over him not once but twice with a car. On the strength of all that, now you and your husband are in foreclosure.
Yes.
And you have already lost your business because you were separated from Glynn County and not able to go back and work in your business for a period of, now it's been 2 years, hasn't it?
Absolutely.
So you've lost your business, you're losing your home, you told me you lost your hair.
Yes, ma'am. My hair fell out as a result of July 22nd, 2011. I felt that I needed to clear my name, so I brought a claim against YvonneHickman, my husband, for his perjury issues of filing false 911 calls, 2 of them. But it generated 5 counts of perjury because he's lied to the judges 5 different times by bringing me to court on aggravated stalking issues. I found that Judge Atwood in Glynn County had been filling out aggravated stalking warrants against me and having my husband to sign his name on these aggravating warrants, bringing me to court and saying that I'm...
So when you say bringing you to court, that you were living in Maryland, is that right?
Absolutely. They would put me on the road at 14 hours one way, bringing me into court. I'm unemployed. I have no money. I'm having to borrow money to make things happen. And they would bring me into Brunswick. I would stay at the Motel 6 there, go to court the very next day, stand before the judge, not allowed to speak, and then the case is dismissed, and I'm allowed to go back to Maryland.
So how often does it happen that you have to go there on these warrants?
At least twice, maybe twice every couple of months.
So once a month, sometimes skip a month, but your husband is filing warrants trying to get you, well, he says he's not filing them, the judge is.
Absolutely. My husband told me through communication that he is not filing these charges against me, that the courts were doing, that the judge was doing that. He said on July 22nd, he said that Judge Morgan had arranged for me to be arrested on July 22nd, and that the arrangement was made because I had came to town on May 20th and beat him up with a white woman.
So these judges are acting on the words of a mentally ill man, but at the same time, they will not give you a day in court to prove your innocence. Is that right?
Absolutely not. And I've had 3 attorneys. Jason Clark was paid $3,500 to defend me. He has yet to file anything in Superior Court regarding these allegations.
Are these Superior Court judges?
No, they're magistrate court judges.
They're magistrate. A hit and run, attempted murder,
yes,
is being handled in magistrate court?
Yes, ma'am.
So it's like they don't believe it either, isn't it?
Well, I do believe that...
do you believe that that's where they handle attempted murders, hit and runs in magistrate court?
No, these felony cases, the state of Georgia has 2 open pending felony cases against me, and they've been open since July 2010 and again December 2009, and they're open under the state of Georgia versus YvonneHickman, but I've never been to court in Superior Court too.
So now, if you wanted to pursue employment, you have like a number of years that you were a U.S. government employee. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am. I'm a former intel officer, and I maintain a top security clearance working National Security Agency. I've explained to
Let me ask you this. Just to interrupt you because we're almost out of film. Could you get your job now with all of these felonies hanging over your head?
Absolutely not. No, because
So they're ruining your recommendation.
Have ruined my life.